You've been an advanced dating client of mine for a couple of years now. So I'm really excited to hear about your journey with your own dating and relationship experience. This one's a very interesting one because you
Mhm.
were for a number of years and through our relationship, a dating coach and relationship coach yourself.
Let's do it, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm honored to, yeah, receive your wisdom over the last 2, 3 years that, you've been coaching me through various phases of my like dating growth, now in the relationship that I'm in, and honestly, just like overall growth as a person.
Are you currently in a relationship, or can you tell me a little bit about the relationship that you're in?
Currently in a exclusive relationship with the woman of my dreams.
You see it as the future, like this is the relationship for you as far as you're concerned. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And how do you feel in that relationship today?
Amazing, man. It's the most loving, supportive, understanding, trusting, transparent, um, human relationship that I've ever had. And the level of understanding and trust and intimacy that we've built with each other, it's exceedingly worth investing in and protecting, and growing together. And, if that's how I feel like a year and 2 months into the relationship, maybe on the surface it sounds really fresh and like very new, absolutely, but it's like every month of our relationship has been worth a year.
You were sort of fairly new as a dating coach yourself, trying to meet new women, and you were traveling. How are you feeling about women and dating at that point? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I had made substantial progress going from a person who was just very introverted, didn't know how to, be around women, interact with women, have my own self-esteem and confidence and social skills. The next stages that I hadn't really unlocked were, yeah, understanding what I would want in a long-term relationship connection. Do I even want that? Right? What does that look like? And then once I got into that relationship, um, where does that lead to? What role do I play? Who am I supposed to be in this relationship? When I started working with you, it was just like I had unlocked, that first few stages of the game where I kind of had the ball rolling. Like I could, talk with some girls, I could get on some dates. But beyond that, the deeper questions I hadn't really thought about, didn't really know what that was like. And for you as being a person who has been many, many, many stages ahead of me in terms of that, it was awesome just receiving that wisdom and being like, okay, Alex, here's the next piece of the puzzle that you're looking at. And these are the variables and these are the questions you should ask yourself.
what
Yeah.
were specific ways in which I helped you transition from that dating lots of chicks, meeting a beautiful girl, making sure that she was the right girl for you, and then transitioning into a deeper relationship?
I remember you telling me that like I was making a big deal out of like transitioning from like casual dating, if you will, to like exclusive dating. And I always thought it was like this big event that happens. Yeah, because I heard that from you, that's kind of how it went, right? It was just a natural evolution of, I ended up going on more dates with her and more frequently and spending more time with her and then mutually deciding to be exclusive with each other. And like our dating pattern didn't really change, but the level of emotional intimacy, that's what got deeper and deeper over time. Like it was the great unknown in terms of how to actually build something with one girl, how to choose her, what does that even look like? It was just a complete like darkness. And so yeah, you were able to help tell me like, okay, this is the next thing. This is how you make the transition. Okay, now these are some important questions you need to ask yourself right now. You don't just like cruise control once you're in the relationship. You need to continue asking yourself, okay, where does this go? Where do you see you two, being in a year, in 2 years, in 30 years? Those are the important things that I'm really glad you gave to me because without them, I most certainly would have, I just wouldn't have known where to take things, right? And that's a pretty irresponsible thing to do as the man in a relationship.
What were the specific things that we worked on before you met this girl
Hmm.
that allowed you to attract her, find her, know that she was the right girl, like to be able to.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing, just like literal just techniques and strategies with like online dating, texting, approaching girls during the daytime. Like these are very like surface level things, but like everybody needs those to begin with. You just need to know how to talk and interact with a woman as a man. I had mostly gotten that stuff down. And the stuff that we really dove into that really was very new for me was who do I want to be with? Like if I'm gonna have a girlfriend, who is she? What does she look like? What are her attitudes? What are her values? What's her maybe religion, spiritual beliefs? What's her beliefs about health, fitness, family? All those things that I had never really considered. Okay, now I have some prompters to be like, okay, let me think about who I think I would like to be with. As I met more girls, I could, compare and be like, okay, is this actually what I want? Is that maybe I add this, subtract that, refine this thing. You think you want this, then you move towards it, then you micro adjust as you get closer until you hit the bullseye. And that's what I did, like literally across the span of probably the 10-ish months when I first defined what I thought I wanted to when I actually crystallized what I wanted and attracted her. There was about 10 months, that entire process. Yeah, like I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not had you with experience to tell me, okay, these are the different areas, variables that you should consider thinking about in a woman. Because honestly, most people just get blindly into a relationship with just damn near anybody. I want to choose exactly who I want, who not only serves me, sexually, physically, I'm attracted to her, but in every area of my life, health and fitness, spirituality, family, work, my purpose, connection, communication, like all those things need to be there if I'm going to commit to a woman. And I think guys need to go through all those relevant phases until they can finally meet and attract that woman.
So together we went for months. We went deep, deep, deep on that. Who is she? What's the relationship look like? And we built that in your mind.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
put that in your mind, and I was just
And then we
helping.
created it in real life.
And then, in a very short order of time, once you had that clarity of knowing what you want, which was beyond anything that you'd ever imagined because you'd never thought about it before. So we had to
Yep.
open your mind up to the possibility. What is the possibility of the most amazing girl relationship that you could ever imagine? What would it look like? What would it feel
Mm-hmm.
like? And then boom, now, now there it is. You're in it all of a sudden.
And it's real. It's crazy. It like literally the paper that we wrote, the description, like I kid you not, it's like 95%, like 97%. Like everything that was a must hit as was hit. Everything that was like a bonus was also hit. And then there was also more things that like I didn't even think about wanting or describing and that she did hit as like when you get a girl who checks more green flags than you had green flags on your list, like she meets all of those criteria. Now all that's left to do is build the life that we want together, which I really think if most people set up their relationship this way, there's no can't go wrong if all the raw materials are correct. If the foundation of the house is built correctly, then you just build on top of it. If it's built weakly or with the wrong materials, of course it's going to fall. Like,
Number one is knowing what you want at a level that you've never previously imagined.
absolutely.
Guys that have been in a 23-year marriage and that's the only long-term relationship that they've had, that's all they know. And so they're not quite, they don't understand how to create like beyond the limitation of that memory, right? They've
Yep.
got a memory of
Yep.
the relationship and everything that was involved.
Exactly. Well, that's the only reference experience that you have, right?
I helped you dream
Exactly.
could be the
Because it's a dream. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So clarity and vision. Number two is then you can't just, there's this idea that you just sit around and wait and the right one's going to come along. Did you take any action? Did you take any action to find this girl? Like what was in, like how many
Yeah,
dates
yeah,
did you go
yeah.
on? How
Yeah,
long?
yeah. Took me about 10 months. I probably went on like 30 plus first dates.
You created first in your mind, and then you created in reality. It took you about 10 months, 30 plus dates. I think that's a very acceptable amount of time and effort and action that's required to
It's
create.
very realistic. It's very realistic. It's in line with the data statistics that you had told me about, which I think from what I remember, you told me it was like, twice a year you'll meet a girl who's like dream girl quality. You'll come across her, whether or not you attract her or it works out or you're the man for her. Maybe you meet her, but you're not her dream man. So guess what? Good luck. Like next time. If you're out there actively meeting women, yes, those women are out there, but you have to A, meet enough women, and B, you have to be a match for them. Because if you're not what they're looking for, it doesn't matter if you meet them.
And step two, have a system with which you can, while you're going about your life,
Yes, yes.
you've got your
Volume.
health and fitness, you've got your social life, you've got family, you've got all these other life commitments. If your dream girl's 1 in 30, 1 in 40, 1 in 20, you've got to go and meet, you've got to be able to meet and date 20 to 30 women. And you want to do that. If you want to do that in 6 months, 4 months, 10 months, take your time, whatever, then you need a system.
Okay.
What did you have to let go of in order for
Hmm.
the current beautiful dream relationship to?
That's the perfect question. That's the perfect question because, yeah, for me, it was my insecurities and a lot of traumas around like childhood love and fear of abandonment, things like that. That was kind of the last missing piece for me because I had already done a lot of work on, let's say, health and fitness, my finances, business, lifestyle, a lot of those things that were a match for the girl that I wanted, who's also, healthy and fit and, feminine and, wants to follow. And I had worked on my masculinity and stuff. But the one piece that I really hadn't had down was feeling like 100% secure in myself and sort of my upbringing with my relationship, whatever they call it, daddy, mommy issues, those things. And so I was for a long time attracting a lot of women who were also had, daddy mommy issues. And I noticed that. I noticed that was a pattern. Actually, it was a very painful pattern for me. That's something I had to overcome. That I wanted to attract an emotionally healthy woman. I knew I had to go through those dark places in myself and examine those and give myself, the love and attention that I needed, or else I would never be able to attract a woman. Like, why would a woman who has healthy self esteem, who loves herself, feels worthy of herself, feels worthy of love, why would she get with a guy who doesn't feel that way? A guy who sees himself as small or undeserving of love.
Do you feel like when you get your house in order that there's women that will match your dream woman's everywhere, or do you feel like she really is like doesn't exist? You've got a beautiful relationship going on with a beautiful girl who's educated. She's got great family values. She wants, she's devoted to you. She's
Yeah.
loyal to you. She cares about you. She does everything in her day to make your life better. Is this a miracle, or is this possible for everyone?
Look in the mirror. Like literally, if you don't see dream women, and they're not in your life, look at who you are. Like until I show up as their dream man, why would they show up in my life? Why would they make themselves known? Why would they find their way into my life? That's why for me the focus, as soon as I imagined what my dream woman was, I wasn't being out there like, is she out there? I was being, okay, am I what she wants? Let me focus on becoming that. And when I become what she wants, she will appear. The fact that you don't see her out there on social media is a good thing, because if she was everywhere on social media, she wouldn't be your dream woman. She would just be any average woman, right? So, I don't know whether you like to believe that your dream woman exists out there or not. It's numbers. It's a numbers game, and she's not going to be in your life until, like, for me, is like she won't show up in my life until I'm the version of me that she wants to have in her life. And then when I did that, like, it worked. So,
What is coaching? Because
well, I'll tell you what I got out of your coaching. Which, first of all, just thank you for mentoring me on this journey. It's just a person who's a few steps ahead of you, who knows more stuff, imbuing their wisdom on you. I'm very careful with who I choose as my coaches. It has to be a person with the skills that I want to acquire and with the results that I want in my life. I saw that in you, and that's why I listened to you. Like, if you didn't have those two things, if you're a fitness trainer who's fat, I'm not listening to you. If you're a business coach that's broke, I'm not listening to you. The ability to also skillfully teach it, then I'm going to listen to you. And that's all it is. I mean, we could break it down into, the steps and the technicalities. And speaking as a coach myself, I know it's all this, like, the program and the calls and the blah blah blah, but who cares about that? Like, what really is a person who just knows more than, like, the karate master teaches the karate novice. That's it.
Part of you finding your dream girl was you evolving, and that's a
Yeah.
process where you have to look in the mirror and say, well,
Mhm.
what do I need to change? What do I need to let go of? Who am I being that's preventing my
Mhm.
dream girl from coming into my life?
That's a great question. Preventing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the other frame I really like, just to add on there, is like, if I don't become the dream man for her, and also make the effort to go out and find her and meet the volume of women necessary, I am depressed. Some woman out there is crying in her bed because she can't find the good men out there. She can't find the you that she's looking for. It's because you're either not out there meeting her because you don't have the skills for it, or you haven't become that version of you that she's looking for. And she's lonely, sad, and deprived because she wrote down her vision of her dream man and she's looking for you, and you're not living up to that. You're supposed to be that person for her, but you're not, because you're being weak or lazy or whatever. And she's sad.
That is the best gold nugget of this whole conversation. Thank you, Alex. Now, is it fair to say that
Thank
you've
you.
made some massive life decisions and you've chosen to hang the gloves up on dating coaching?
Yeah, that is the move. I'm transitioning into a more like a general holistic self development coaching, especially people who feel like if their potential is this, but so far in life they've only really squeezed out this much. They just know. If you're that person that, like, you're meant for this, but my life is just this.
If anyone
Thank you.
follow you or follow this new journey of yours, reach out to you, where's the best place for them to do that?
Yeah, so Instagram, it's alex.b.coach. So alex.bi.coach. Yeah, I'm actually helping people for free right now. Working with 9 people at the moment. So if you catch me in time, could be one of my first people who gets in for free. Would be a privilege. Get some coaching from Dan the man. If you're watching this, you're probably wanting to get, a girlfriend or some dates. That's where I was when I first started. So yeah, Dan's the man for that.
Thanks, Alex. Really appreciate it. I've loved this conversation today. Really looking
It
forward
was
to seeing
awesome.
where you take this and, your relationship as well. I'm very excited about that. So peace out, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Have a,
appreciate it.
see ya.
See ya.